everybody, welcome back to 𝘍𝘐𝘐 Terrible. Today we're needing for you called the Sweet Misfortune, featuring our Slurpuff from Chilling Reign. We're also playing our Blunder Policy from Brilliant Stars, the new tool card that allows you to draw 3 cards if you flip a Tails with the effect of any attack passing the turn. We're also drawing cards with our Manectric High Speed to allow us to draw 3 cards as we evolve this Pokemon from our hand. So we're playing Scope Up Net with our 3 copies of Manectric and Electrike. We also have our Milotic to help us keep our hand just in case they pull a Marnie on us. So that means we actually get to do so much more damage with Indeedee later on. So Hand Kinesis Indeedee, a very popular card, allows you to do 10x damage for each card in your hand. So we actually get to collect the amount of cards slowly as the turn goes by. So how are we going to pull off a Hand Kinesis late stage in the game to do a VMAX knockout or a V-Star knockout even? We want to be collecting up to 30 plus cards in our hand. We are trying to pull that off by playing a lot of power supporter cards, our abilities to draw cards, and also Blunder Policy. That means passing the turn, we get to draw up to 10 cards into our hand with a 4-draw supporter, triple draw, both on our Manectric ability and the Blunder Policy tool card. We even get to retrieve cards from the discard pile with our Follow the Sand. Slurpuff, very powerful attack, allows you to recycle your tool cards, your item cards, allows you to retrieve your special energy as well. So we want to be targeting those power item cards if we actually get ahead with that attack. For example, our Scope Up Net to recycle our Manectric's ability, or our Rescue Carrier to add an extra 1 card into our hand. We may need to retrieve other cards like Manaphy or Boss Order though, just because we're only playing 1 copy of those cards. Other times, you may need to retrieve your special energy for Indeedee to attack, because Hand Kinesis requires 2 energies. That means Double Turbo is going to force it to do 20 less damage. We want to be attaching Twin Energy for Indeedee and Double Turbo for Slurpuff to do Follow the Sand, just because this attack does no damage. So we're playing 4 copies of Indeedee, 4 Electrikes and 3 Manectric, 3 Feebas and 2 Milotic, and 3 copies of each Swirlix and Slurpuff as I said, and 1 Eevee. As for our item cards, we have 2 Evolution Incense for Milotic, Slurpuff, and Manectric. We have 3 Great Ball for any cards that we get at the top 7 cards of our deck. We also have 2 Level Ball to get our basic Pokemons out to bench fast. We also have 3 Scope Up Nets for Manectric and 1 Rescue Carrier for our Indeedee or any one of our other Level Ball cards, so we can't actually retrieve our Evolution cards with Rescue Carrier just because all of our Evolution are non-Level Ball. They are more than 90 HP for Manectric, Slurpuff, and Milotic as well. We can actually retrieve our Manaphy though, but since we are only playing 1 copy of this card, it's better to use it for your Indeedee just because this is the main attacker for this deck. We can only attack with Hand Kinesis and nothing else. We don't want to be relying on continuous type to do damage because we have to flip so many coins for this card. You may even be unlucky enough to flip a first Tails doing 0 damage with this attack. But playing 1 copy of these power cards like Manaphy, Rescue Carrier, and Boss Order is not too bad though, just because we have Follow the Sand to retrieve those cards back into our hand if we flip a heads with this attack. So for each heads as well, you get to keep using this attack until you have enough cards in your hand to do a 1-hit knockout or even a 2-hit knockout with your Indeedee. We are protecting our bench as well. That means they can't actually collect multiple prize cards in a single turn unless they do damage counters on our Pokemon. So that means we have a lot of turns to spare to be able to collect enough cards in our hand before doing our first Hand Kinesis, dealing at least 250 plus damage with this attack. Finally, for our supporter cards, we have 4 Schoolgirls and 2 Schoolboy to draw up to 4 cards into our hand. Depending on the number of prize cards our opponent has remaining, if they have odd number of prize cards left, we actually get to draw an additional 2 cards playing a Schoolboy. If we play a Schoolgirl, we have to make sure our opponent has even number of prize cards left. We also have 2 Gym Trainer to draw 4 cards if one of our Pokemon got knocked out on our opponent's last turn, 4 Bird Keepers for the switch effect, and 3 Avery to remove our opponent's bench Pokemon until 3 remains. So that's all for the deck list. Let's go ahead for gameplay. So let's go ahead for our first game versus an Evolution deck box. Evolution deck sleeve and coin as well. So they're definitely playing an Evolving Skies VMAX, either that or the V-Star Glaceon, V-Star Leafeon. I wonder what they're playing. Okay, we got Electrike and Swirlix. Slurpuff, Swirlix. The basics name is actually quite weird, isn't it? Swirlix. I mean, what kind of name is that? So we're gonna get Feebas. We need to be benching that fast and preparing for Dew Guard on the next turn. Let's hope we get a Great Ball for Milotic. So always do your Great Ball at the last second, because we want to be looking at the top 7 as late as possible after playing our supporter cards to draw, because we are not doing anything but draw with our supporters except for that 1 copy of Boss. We have no Roseanne in this deck just because we are playing Follow the Sand. We are we actually get to retrieve cards from the discard pile without having to shuffle them back into the deck. So I don't think Roseanne is that necessary because we don't even have any stadium cards. We're not playing any 𝘿𝘚𝘬𝘐𝑚𝑚 by the way. No 𝘿𝘚𝘚𝑚𝑚 means you actually have to rely on those 3 coins. You don't get to flip a second time. You only get to flip once. 3 coins. If you flip all tails, you can't actually retrieve anything from the discard pile, but at least you get to draw 3 cards with your Blunder Policy. So we didn't get a Blunder, that's fine. At least we get to retrieve something. Let's hope we get Milotic. We should be getting it out, honestly, because we have 2 Incense, 2 Milotic. We got our Great Ball in our hand, but we're going to do it at the last second. So there's nothing else we can do but to play this ball. Let's hope we get it. No Milotic, look at that. No Guard. So on their next turn, it's quite certain that they're going to pull out a Marnie and destroy our hand. We actually got like 8 cards already. So let's bench another Feebas because it dies quite easily. If they boss order kill our first one, we have our second one to evolve. So we got 2 heads. That means we actually get to retrieve. We should be getting a Bird Keeper though, because we actually only have Gym Trainer after this. And I don't think they can knock us out that fast. So we should be planning ahead and do Avery and then Bird Keeper later. But they're probably going to Marnie us though, right? If they play a Marnie, we can't hope to keep our hand anymore. So I think they already know what we're playing. If they anticipate, if they strategize, if they observe our gameplay, like our strategy, they would have understood now what we're trying to do, which is a consistent draw, and then Milotic to keep our hand, and then do Indeedee at the last minute, bench that hand Kinesis, and attach energy, retreat with Manectric because it's free retreat, very powerful card. You will not only get to draw 3 cards for stage 1, you don't need your Crobat, drastic draw, the one price Crobat, which is a stage 2. Discrete, it actually helps you draw quite fast though because you get your Golbat to draw 2 cards as you evolve it from your hand, and then Crobat draw another 3 cards, and then if you play a scoop on that Crobat, you actually get to collect extra 2 cards, do 20 extra damage for your Indeedee. So Scoop Up Net, Crobat is definitely a very good combo, but I prefer Manectric though, just because even though you only get that additional 1 card for your Scoop Up Net, even though it's less cards in your hand, after doing the scoop, at least you get to draw faster, you get to draw 3 cards for stage 1. So we got our Blunder Policy, we got our Milotic out finally. They got the Jolteon already though. Jolteon already benched. So as you saw, we have no Manaphy on the bench. We got our Manaphy on the first turn though, but we didn't bench it because they have no Jolteon on the bench. That means we haven't anticipated them to play a bench snipe deck. They're actually gonna kill us this turn. They're gonna kill either. They actually need Scoop on that though. If they don't get their Inteleon, if they don't get an Incense for the first Quick Shoot, they can't kill the Milotic. But if they play enough cards, like if they get another Zigzagoon, 2 Scoop Up Nets, they can actually kill both the Feebas and the Milotic. Or even, all they need is just a boss order really. If they get a boss order, they can kill both. So are they going to pull it off? I'm really hoping they don't. They discarded 1 boss, so that's good news. Probably gonna do... There we go, Zigzagoon. That means all they need is a boss now. Oh, they didn't get their evolution though. No evolution, look at that. So that means we actually survived. Passing the turn, they got 0 knockout. That was a big surprise, isn't it? So we could have scooped up our Feebas to heal damage from it. Healing is actually a big deal because they haven't got enough Inteleons yet, so that means Quick Shoot is not going to be able to collect the knockout on the Feebas, unless they do, Thunder Spear or, my bad, GMAX Thunder Rumble on that Feebas, which is going to waste that 100 damage, right? So we got no supporter cards for this turn. That means we are forced to do Follow the Sand, and at least we get to draw 3 cards with our Blunder, flipping only 2 hits. So look at that, we get 5 cards into our hand using our Follow the Sand, retrieving 2 cards from the discard pile and drawing 3. That's an additional 50 damage for our first Indeedee. We actually haven't played our Indeedee yet. So you get to do a surprise hit. That's the good thing about Indeedee Manectric, is that you get to do a surprise hit. Whereas with your Crobat, you need to evolve to your stage 2 before you get that free retreat cost, because Golbat is actually not a free retreat Pokemon. Golbat has 1 energy retreat cost. Jolteon is also free retreat, by the way. It's quite surprising, isn't it? A VMAX with free retreat. I think it's the first one, right? The first VMAX to ever have a free retreat cost. I'm not too sure though. Corviknight VMAX, my bad. Corviknight actually is the first one. Mew VMAX as well, but that's quite late though, Fusion Strike. Okay, they got their evolution cards out now, but it's a shady dealing, so they haven't got their quick shoot yet. I don't think they need it yet though. So if we survive, if Milotic, okay, Milotic is surviving the next turn. That's good. If they kill Feebas, we're probably gonna get the other one quite easily. We got only 1 left though, and we got no ways of shuffling our Milotic back into the deck, so we need to somehow get, if they can't boss right now, they did a Marnie. So, oh, we got Manaphy out already. I forgot, we actually benched Manaphy. Okay, that was silly. We got Manaphy out already. That means we actually get to deny them that extra 100 damage. Look at that. We're gonna play Gym Trainer for extra 4 cards, and then evolve for another 3 cards. Look at that. Passing the turn, you know, before passing the turn, we actually get quite a lot of draws on the last turn, but after that, we got 3 cards from Blunder Policy, 3 cards from Manectric, and 4 cards from Gym Trainer. That's a total of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards. We drew 10 cards in a single turn. Look at that. All thanks to the new tool card. I love it though. Blunder Policy is so cool, right? So we're gonna slow down the game a little bit, just because we are playing a 1 prize and they are collecting 1 prize at a time thanks to Manaphy. And let's just have a little bit of fun with Eevee. Let's see how many hits we can pull off. We have a double turbo though, so we're trying to draw cards. Actually, it doesn't really matter how many hits we get, but we're trying to draw as much cards with Blunder Policy. We're guaranteed to draw cards. We actually got 100 damage, look at that. Which is actually going to save us a lot, because we don't need to draw that many anymore. For the first one, for the first VMAX knockout, we get to do 200 damage hand kinesis to collect the knockout if they don't play a Cheryl. So if we get a boss, it would be quite easy on the next turn, because we have Manectric to draw extra cards. We have Scoop Up Net, maybe Rescue Carrier. I don't think we have that card. So, yeah, Manaphy is actually helping us a lot. It's stalling is actually better, even if we get no hits though. If we got no hits on the last turn, at least we get to draw 3, and that means we actually get to slowly accumulate more cards into our hand, expecting to do a 1-hit knockout late stage in the game, which is what we want to achieve, because they are playing a Cheryl for this deck. Cheryl Jolteon is very, very infamous, just because they only require 1 energy for G-Max Thunder Rumble. So very, very powerful card. Dangerous Jolteon. Super dangerous, because they can boss or kill the Manaphy at any moment. So that's why I invested on the Blunder Policy. Even though you have to waste 2 cards from your hand, so make sure you are aware of that. You have to actually attach an energy and the tool card. That means you're wasting 2 cards from your hand to draw 3 from the deck. That means you're actually drawing an additional 1 card into your hand. So that may be a bad deal if you have very few cards left in your deck. If you don't have that many cards left, it may be wiser not to do that, because if you waste too many of your tool cards, if you waste too many of your special energies, you may not have enough cards in your hand at the final stage of the game. After drawing everything from your deck, you may not have enough to do a 1-hit knockout against a VMAX, against a V-Star. 300, you need 320 or 330. 33 cards in your hand is quite a lot, right? It's a big deal. It's a big accomplishment, actually. So are we able to pull it off? 30, we just need 30 for Jolteon though, thankfully. So Jolteon is the lowest HP VMAX Pokemon ever, same as your Butterfree. I can't remember off the top of my head any other cards. But we got a boss order right now. We're gonna do the boss. We actually got the Scoop Up Net just to add that extra 1 card. So we can't be benching anything, we can't be doing anything, because we have exactly 23 cards in our hand That means all we can do, I think we actually have another scoop. Do we have another scoop in our hand? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we have 23 cards in our hand right now. So 23 means we only get to play 3 from our hand. 1 Indeedee, 2 Bulbasaur, and 3 Special Energy. So that's it. We don't get to play anything else. We cannot afford to play any other card from our hand. We cannot evolve. We should be evolving, but we can't afford to just because we want to be collecting the knockout right now. Exactly 200 damage, look at that. So if we evolve, it would have saved us later on, but we wouldn't be able to do a knockout. So it was quite a shame actually, because if we have a rescue carrier, we could have done the knockout and secure ourselves another 𝘍𝙬𝘚. So now they're definitely gonna kill the Feebas on the bench. I'm just hoping they don't boss order the Milotic, because they can actually quite easily do a Raihan. If they do a Raihan, they can boss order. Right, they can't attack this turn though, because they actually bench the Jolteon right now. So we are safe for 1 turn at least. We don't have any more boss, but all we need is 1 VMAX knockout at the last second. Do a VMAX knockout for the final 3 prize, and that's it, right? So we don't need to worry about Milotic. We just need to you know, strike at just the right time, just after they knock out our Manaphy, Milotic, and stuff like that. Because after Milotic is off the field, we have 1 turn to do the knockout. If we don't collect a VMAX knockout within that 1 turn, then they can do a Marnie and completely destroy us, and we are doing close to 0 damage on the next turn, which is ridiculous. So Milotic is definitely gonna, you know, is gonna decide whether we win or not. Are they gonna be able to kill Milotic fast enough? Okay, I don't think we're gonna do much this turn. We're just gonna draw, and then attack and kill, because we are drawing the prize card as well. That means we are adding another 10 damage for the next Indeedee. So let's hope we get our twin energy from the prize, or like from the supporter draw on the next turn, because we actually got nothing but double turbo, which is horrible. So 200, let's just put the Electrike, because we want to be doing the knockout on the next turn. If we don't do the knockout on the next turn, they're gonna kill Milotic and that's it, right? We have only 1 last turn, the next one. So doing a knockout right now actually means we just need a final hit. A final hit on the Jolteon. They cannot attack with anything else other than maybe Waterfall. It's not doing enough damage though. Oh, we actually decided to do Eevee. Look at that. We decided to do another Blunder Policy. That was really weird. We should have just collected the knockout. If we did a knockout, then all we need is 1 more hit. That was quite silly though. I don't know why I did that. That was quite stupid. Because Zigzagoon is giving us a free 1 prize, and all we need is a final VMAX. And we're actually wasting cards from our hand. We're wasting 2 cards. I think I was actually trying to get the twin energy out. I was desperate for the twin energy. I think that was the reason why. Because even though we're wasting 2 cards, at least we actually get to draw an extra 1. So doing 10 plus damage and, you know, avoiding the damage reduction effect by double turbo. Okay, let's see how much we can do. I think we can do at least 340. I'm not sure how many cards we have in my hand. I'm not gonna count. I'm too lazy. But while I was playing the game, I count so many times though. It was exhausting. You have to keep counting, and you have to count so fast because the timer keeps rushing, and it's just ridiculous. You have to count so fast. So it's actually easier if you can detect the similar copies. If you can see the images, some of the images are quite similar, and you know, what do you call that? Identical copies. You can actually group them together and count them faster that way. Okay. So they're doing Pin Missile to do the knockout, and then because if they evolve into the VMAX, they have no chance of winning, right? So no boss. That means Milotic is safe for another 1 turn. That means we got another 2 turns to guard our hand. Look at that. Another 2 turns to attack, my bad. one last turn to guard, but 2 turns to attack with a massive hand. So I don't know what we're gonna do right now. I don't think we get to play Bird Keeper. If we draw any more, we're gonna draw ourselves to death. I think we get to though. I'm pretty sure we get to do at least like one triple draw. We should be playing Avery just now. We should have done Avery on the last turn. Like Avery would have destroyed them so much. But we may need to, it may have been necessary to draw the maximum amount of cards. Let's just do Avery because I'm pretty sure we have enough cards in our hand already. So force them to discard their Zigzagoons, no scoop on that. They're gonna have to pull out a rescue carrier for Zigzagoon. No Zigzagoon means no Manaphy knockout, right? If Manaphy stays alive, that means they can't do a triple knockout. If they can somehow double quick shoot the Manaphy and then scoop up the Zigzagoon, they can actually do a triple knockout the next turn, right? That was actually quite close. I did not realize that. But they need another damage counter on Milotic though, 120 HP I'm pretty sure. So Milotic has 10 HP remaining after Jolteon does the Thunder Rumble. So Thunder Rumble gonna kill Indeedee, but it's not gonna kill Milotic. So they need to quick shoot twice and do a double Zigzagoon. Otherwise they're not gonna be able to do a triple knockout. And we actually gave them the Electrike though, which was quite stupid. I was too caught up with keeping a large number of cards in my hand, and I forgot that they can actually do a triple knockout on the next turn. So Electrike is giving them that free 1 prize on the bench. Manaphy is dying. If they get 2 Zigzagoons out, they may be smart enough, they may be lucky enough to get a rescue carrier for 2 Zigzagoon. And oh, they don't have a second Inteleon. They don't have a second Inteleon. I thought that was a Drizzile. So they can't do it. They don't have a second Inteleon. Yeah, it was impossible after all. So let's see how much we get to do for our last hit. We have 30 more HP. Manaphy is staying alive. Milotic survived for so many turns though. Look at that. Isn't that a miracle? No boss order for so many turns. They were trying so hard to get their evolution and tool card, I suppose. They played a lot of research and Marnie, I think. So here comes the VMAX. And they actually decided not to attack. Oh, they can't attack without the elemental badge. They got no badge. We got our final card from the deck, so we have 0 cards left inside the deck. This is our final turn. Let's see how much we can do. We are not playing any more cards. We don't have any more scoop up nets. So let's see. 340 damage, killing all VMAXs across the board unless they have HP boost, HP buffs. So that is the strongest, the highest damage we did for that game, which is not bad. Slurpuff actually helped us early on in the game. And as you saw, I don't think you get to play that many Slurpuff in a single game. It's better just to use that attack once or twice. If you use it, if you evolve too many times, if you play too many Slurpuff in a single game, you're gonna waste the number of cards inside your deck and inside your hand. You're gonna play too many cards and then you're gonna discard them after they get knocked out. And discarding a stage 1 is not good because you can't actually shuffle them back with your rod. We're not playing any rods, no Roseanne, no way of retrieving our Pokemon cards other than with Follow the Sand, which is another evolution card, which actually requires you to play another 1 card, another 2 cards from your hand because you need double turbo. So it's better just to conserve the amount of Slurpuff that you're playing. If it survives 1 turn, you at least get to do Follow the Sand twice, but I think it's smarter, it's wiser just to do 1 Slurpuff per game. I think that's enough. I don't think you need any more than that. Eevee, that's why we have Eevee. I think it's actually recommended to play more copies of that card. Drampa is actually better though. Spiral Rush. Drampa, I don't know why I have Eevee in this deck. So Drampa, twin energy cost for same effect, but you actually get a 30 base damage for Drampa. So flip a coin until you get tails, and do 30 extra damage for each heads that you get in this way. So Drumpa is doing a 30 plus damage, whereas your Eevee is doing only 30x damage. You just need one energy cost though. But we are playing double turbo, so it doesn't make much sense to be concerned with the energy cost. We can actually attack with Slurpuff because it's actually 3 colorless energy cost for the second attack, 80 damage. So it's important to note all the attacks that is available to you. You can attack with Eevee, Slurpuff, and Indeedee. You can't attack with Meloetta or Manectric because they need specific type energy. I think it's Fairy Wind. Fairy Wind does 80 damage for 3 colorless. So don't underestimate those tiny damage that you get to do, because you know, even though it's only even though it's less than 100 damage, even if it's like 190 or 80 damage, it actually reduces their HP and then allows you to collect a knockout with your Indeedee much easier. It actually releases the tight rope that you have to walk through with your hand kinesis, because you need to draw so many cards. You need to buy so much time with your coin flip cards, with your follow the sand, with your, you need to accelerate your draw with your Blunder Policy as well. So it's quite difficult to pull off this card. This attack is very conditional. And we only did, as you saw, 70 damage with that double turbo, 90 without. We got no Feebas, look at that, this is super bad. But Mew VMAX, I don't think they have Marnie. They are playing probably Adventures Discovery, Chili Silent and Crest, Peony. What else are they playing? Elisa. I don't think they have that many Marnies. Maybe 1 or 2 copies of Marnie/Research. So we are forced to do Gym Trainer. I think we tried to avoid that card on the last turn. Should have played it though when we got it, just because even though it's just 2, at least we get to, you know, draw other cards out and then increase the chance of us getting other support cards by our next turn. So you never know though, it's always a gamble. You never know if it's better to save it for the next turn or play it right now, because we haven't done a Meloetta, so that means they can do a Marnie quite easily. Okay, we got 2 heads for our first Follow the Sand, and Blunder Policy is not doing anything. We got a Tails though, but it's deactivated, completely nullified by Tool Jammer. Mew VMAX with a Tool Jammer. Super annoying, isn't it? They got their first prize already, so they're collecting the second one right now. 3 Genesects and a VMAX. The full art special secret rare VMAX. Looks really cool, doesn't it? Looks like it's in a festival or something. Festive Mew. The New Year Pokemon. And I put a sad face because they're gonna kill us right now. Oh, the sad face was for Marnie. I was expecting them to pull a Marnie and reset our hand, which is gonna be super horrible. But they didn't. Fortunately, they did Elisa instead. But we need 2 more turns to get Dewguard. So fingers crossed they don't get Marnie for another 2 turns, which is quite ridiculous. If they have any copies, even 1 copy in their deck, they're probably gonna get it with Genesect. So let's hope they don't play any Marnies in this Fusion Strike deck. Let's just hope. They're probably playing a lot of Boss and Elisas though, right? For power moves. Okay, we got Feebas at long last. We're gonna need to get another one though, because of Boss. So they're not sniping our bench, that's good. That means we just need to worry about evolving. So should we attack? I think we have to. We actually need 3 strikes to kill the Mew. 240 damage. I don't think it's that easy. Let's just do the attack right now. We're gonna scoop up the Manectric and then draw. Oh, are we gonna draw? I don't know. Okay, we played the carrier for both our level ball cards. We're gonna bench another Electrike probably. Are we gonna bench the Electrike? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Because it's early days, we got a few more scoop up nets in the deck. No, oh, we didn't. We actually decided not to. My bad. We did. Okay, hand kinesis for 140 damage. That's fine. If they pull a Cheryl right now, it'll be quite sad. Because they can actually do a knockout with Melodious Echo. So Cheryl, Melodious Echo, and then attach an energy from the hand. They're good to go for the next turn to do Max Miracle all over again. Miracle is all they need. They don't need the Cross Fusion Strike. Unless they have 𝘊𝘬𝘐𝑬 to place damage counters. 5 damage counters in any way. Only 5 though. I don't think it's doing that much. If we are playing Feebas, it's better to place damage counters. But it's evolving the next turn, so I think it's too late. Because 5 is not enough. They need 6 damage counters to kill both Feebas. Okay, here comes Meloetta. We actually got a boss in our hand. We can kill the Mew on the next turn, but it's actually smarter to kill off the Meloetta first, because they can't attack with anything but the Mew on the next turn, unless they do a Roseanne. If they do a Roseanne, they can't do Elisa, so there's no way they can attack with anything but a Mew on the next turn if we kill off this Meloetta. So let's play smart. If we knock out the Mew, they can attack with Melodious Echo and then buy themselves extra few turns by benching a Mew while attacking with the Meloetta. So they can prepare the next Mew already. So we don't want that to happen. We want them to get stuck one turn or force them to attack with that Mew. They're either gonna have to pass the turn not attacking with the VMAX on the bench, or pass the turn with the VMAX in the active spot collecting the knockout. So let's do Schoolboy for 4 cards. We're not gonna play boss, we're gonna do it later. We're gonna save boss for Genesect actually, because if they attack with Mew, we just need to kill the active, and then on the next turn, boss the Genesect, and that's it. 190, 210 HP. I'm pretty sure we can deal with that. So don't underestimate the HP. They can actually reduce damage with 𝘊𝘬𝘐𝑬. So always aim to do higher 20 extra damage against a Fusion Strike deck. So Mew VMAX is not 310 HP. Mew VMAX should be, what do you call that? Should be viewed as a 330 HP VMAX Pokemon. Because 𝘊𝘬𝘐𝑬 can show up at any moment. 𝘊𝘬𝘐𝑬 is super destructive. Okay, we got Manectric on the active spot. We're gonna kill off the Mew and then boss on the next turn. They need 2 more turns to collect the last 2 prize, and same goes for us. We just need 2 more turns to do a boss at the final on the next turn. And since we hit first, we actually win the game. We got our first VMAX knockout, and then on the next turn another Genesect knockout, and that's it. And they can't even attack on the next turn because they got no energies on Genesect. They got no bench Pokemon, no Mew on the bench, no energy attached. So that was quite unlucky that they got nothing, that they benched nothing. I don't know what's happening though. I think they got a lot of cards in the prize or something. They got 2 prize cards left though. They should be benching something, right? And they just conceded. We got our first VMAX knockout, and then on the next turn we just need to kill the Genesect. So Milotic means they can't do a Marnie, and we just need to play the boss from our hand, and that's it. That's the final 2 prize right there. Okay, we're playing a fairy coin because we're playing the fairy type Slurpuff, the delicious cotton candy, and we have our black and white deck sleeve to feature Indeedee, the normal type Pokemon. It's actually a psychic as well. So we're up against Urshifu now. Rapid Strike Urshifu. Okay, let's see how well this does. against another spread deck. The first spread deck we were up against was Jolteon, and then we're up against a Mew VMAX Turbo super fast deck. They can attack on the first turn going second with Psychic Leap or Melodious Echo. Melodious Echo does more damage though, like up to 140 if they got their Elisa and that special energy in their hand. If they're lucky, they can do Melodious Echo 140 first turn going second, which is madness, isn't it? Okay. Let's focus on this game right now. Cinccino, Urshifu. Are they gonna play Zigzagoon, Octillery, Inteleon? What else are they gonna play? Basculin. They could actually play Marnie's Pride. I've seen people play Marnie's Pride for Urshifu instead of Melody. They can actually put both cards inside a deck. So Marnie's Pride means you have to draw cards some other way. Because Marnie doesn't help you draw, it's a support card, you don't get to play others. So having a Cinccino engine may actually indicate that they are playing Marnie's Pride. And Bibarel can actually help as well. Urshifu Bibarel is definitely interesting, isn't it? So Marnie's Pride actually works quite well because all you need is Octillery, Rapid Strike Search for any one card that you need from the deck, and then Marnie to attach the energy, and then retreat, attack on the same turn. I don't think it's that much to pull off. It's quite simple. So we're gonna get Electrike with our Level Ball. We may just get a Swirlix. I'm not sure what to get actually. I don't think we're getting Indeedee. It's too early to get Indeedee. Okay, we got Manaphy, right? We actually need that card. Oopsie, we needed Manaphy for Rapid Strike protection. Okay, we're gonna scoop it up and then attack with Eevee. No Blunder Policy, but that's fine. We're just gonna flip the coin, try to... Oh, we didn't do it. We decided to pass the turn, look at that. We got a lot of special energies though. We got like 7 copies. We should be sparing one for Eevee. I don't think it matters too much. If we get like 3 heads, we're gonna be able to kill Cinccino for the extra 1 price. Okay, we're gonna do Bird Keeper right now. And hopefully get no... Oh, we got a Blunder. There we go. We got Blunder and a Turbo. That means we get to do Follow Descent for the double effect. Putting cards into your hand from the discard pile. And drawing 3 cards if you get a Tails. If we get 3 heads though, oh my god. We can't actually draw with Blunder. So Blunder is not giving us any draw for this turn. But at least we get to retrieve 3 cards. That's an additional 30 damage for Indeedee. Same thing. But it's only 3 cards though, it's not a lot. Compared to Blunder Policy plus at least 1 heads, you get 4 cards, right? At the very least. And I'm pretty sure drawing is gonna help out much more because we didn't have that many important cards inside the discard pile anyways. Okay, let's do Schoolgirl. Bench the Electrike. We should be preparing another Feebas though, just in case the boss order killed the first one. We got Manaphy already in play, so we don't need to be too worried. Urshifu is prepared to do the Rapid Flow, but they should be doing Gale Thrust boss first before targeting our bench. So if they do a boss on the next turn, we just need to follow the scent, retrieve that Manaphy from the discard pile. If we get no hits with our Slurpuff on the next turn, it's going to be quite sad. Because I don't think they can kill the Manaphy with... It's not possible, right? To kill Manaphy with damage counters, they have to somehow draw the boss order out. They got no Drizzile though. No Shady Dealings. We actually drew 5 cards on this turn, which is great. We drew so many cards. We got triple draw with the Blunder Policy. We got another 2 draw from the discard pile with our Follow Descent. Okay, we got Scoop Up Net for the next turn. We didn't do an Electrike. I don't think we did our high speed yet. So we should be evolving Milotic by now, but still no Milotic. So thank God they didn't do They gave us so many turns though, no Marnie for so many turns, which was quite surprising for an Urshifu deck, but I suppose it's a League Battle deck. League Battle deck is not really that strong, but it is in Urshifu though. Urshifu is super strong on its own. So for your League Battle deck, you have instead your Cinccino and Phalanx. You have Octillery to get your Rapid Strike cards, Cinccino to draw, and then Phalanx, an additional attacker, 1 price. Not bad actually. You don't need Inteleon. Playing Inteleon for any deck is obviously super useful, but it's kind of like a dumb move, to be honest. It's like a really stupid move, because you're actually not showing off your own skill. You're not really showing off your skill of building a deck. You're only showing your skill at playing the game. You're not really, you know, thinking much. You're not using any brain cells. Inteleon is like a sure win, you know. If you play Inteleon, you have a very high chance of winning. The margin of error is so small for an Inteleon deck. So small. Especially if you add cards like Weezing in there as well. Inteleon, Weezing. That's why Sableye is so broken. The last minute Raihan Sableye deck is so broken thanks to that ability, quick shooting, and neutralizing gas. So crazy. So I think their main strategy is to keep passing the turn, hoping we deck ourselves out. I think that's what they're trying to... I think that's what they're aiming for. So we have to be very careful counting our counting the number of cards inside our deck, making sure we don't draw everything out, making sure we have enough turns to collect all 6 prize. So we actually got 3 heads. That means we don't get to draw any from the deck, but that's fine. That's an additional 3 cards. We got so many heads though. We got 6 heads already for this one game. We played a lot of... we used that attack so many times. So they're probably gonna retreat right now. I mean, they should be, right? Because we can do a one-hit knockout on Urshifu on the next turn, I'm pretty sure. Not sure how many cards we have inside our hand. Let's just count. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 29 cards in our hand. 1 from the draw, 1 from the top deck. So that's 33 cards probably if we use a gym trainer or a schoolgirl, schoolboy. If we get to draw 4 cards on the next turn, we get to draw up to... oh, we got Manectric though. We shouldn't be that worried. If we do Manectric and supporter card, we get to draw up to 34 cards in our hand, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Yeah, 34 cards. Okay. If we do a boss though, I don't think we can kill the Urshifu right now. I think we actually did a boss right now. We should be just killing off the Cinccino. We should have just waited. Kill off the Cinccino right now, and then wait for the next turn to collect an Urshifu knockout. I'm pretty sure I hit the Urshifu this turn. I don't know though actually. We should have attached a twin. That was a big mistake because that was actually our first Indeedee. So we don't actually need to conserve our energy cards. I don't think, because we got like so many in our hand. We got 3 copies. We don't need that many strikes ready. We just need 3 times 3 hit. And if they play a VMAX, we should be attacking with the twin energy one. If they boss, we're gonna have to attack with the same Indeedee. Unless we retreat and Bird Keeper. If we retreat Bird Keeper, we can actually do 10 extra damage. Instead of drawing 4 cards, we only draw 3. And instead of benching, putting 2 cards into play, attaching energy and benching another Indeedee, we just need to attach the energy. We don't need to bench anything. So let's hope they don't do a boss though, because if they do that, we're gonna be one Milotic down. That means we have to re-evolve the other one. And that actually cuts down the number of cards in our hand. So they didn't knock us out, forcing us to attack with that double turbo still on it, which is quite annoying. We should have done a retreat though to remove the double turbo. Bird Keeper retreat would have done enough. But I actually I wasn't smart enough to think about that. And we forgot to scoop up our Manectric on the last turn. I'm pretty sure we have a scoop up that. There we go. We did not scoop it up. We should have scooped it up just now. Big mistake right there. So if we knock out the Urshifu right now, without an Electrike, we cannot attack on the next turn. I don't think it's smart to kill the Urshifu right now. Sorry, I don't think it's smart to kill it without an Electrike, so we are forced to bench an Electrike if we want to do the knockout. But apparently it's not enough. 32. We got 32 cards in our hand, sorry, 34. We actually got 34, but thanks to double turbo, it wasn't enough. So we should have done retreat Bird Keeper. That would have been just nice, right? Retreat Bird Keeper, but we actually need to attach a Twin Energy though. So they did a Cheryl, look at that. Isn't that horrible? We did 320 damage for nothing. If we did a Bird Keeper, we get to do 10 less damage. And 20 less damage because we have to attach another energy. But we get to remove the double turbo. So it's the same thing, isn't it? It's the same thing. Because double turbo does 20 less damage. If you do Bird Keeper, you're doing 10 less. Attach the energy, another 10 less. So it's the same thing actually. Might as well just save the energy. So we shouldn't have benched the Electrike just now. If we didn't bench it, we could have done the knockout. And I don't think they can kill us that easily. If they do kill us though, then we have no no way of retreating. We have a Bird Keeper. Oops, we actually have a Bird Keeper. We don't need the free retreat. My bad. I just realized that right now. After so many times of playing this deck, so many games with this list, I just realized that we can do a Bird Keeper. We don't need Manectric. Okay, here comes Phalanx. Phalanx is not doing a lot though. They need to bench so many cards. It's doing like they just need one more though to kill the Indeedee. So they're trying to stall us. We got 2 cards left in the deck. They are, they're hoping we can't. They're hoping we forgot about the number of cards and evolve the Manectric to do the ability. But we are not that stupid. We're not that stupid. We can't even do a Bird Keeper, but we can't do a Bird Keeper. If we do that, we're gonna deck ourselves out. So it's impossible to do Bird Keeper. We have to evolve, and because we actually get to choose whether to draw or not. So always check. It says you may draw 3 cards. That means you can actually choose not to. So we're evolving for the free retreat, not for the draw here, because we have one last card in our deck. We actually have 2 turns left, exactly 2 turns left. So that was quite close actually. Hand Kinesis for 1 prize, and then on the next turn, our final prize. So thank God. Thank God we checked our... No, the cards in our deck. I don't know what it's called. Prize is called the prize card. Deck is called the deck cards. Discard pile. Deck. It's just called the deck, I suppose. Deck count. Okay, they can't avoid it now. It's done. It's over. Well played. They got 2 Remorates. Probably gonna bench an Urshifu right now, a bit too late. But if they can do Mustard, that would be quite surprising, isn't it? That would be quite a big surprise. To do a Mustard, Scoop Up Net, and then Gale Thrust. That would be quite interesting. And then we actually have to pull out another Indeedee. I don't think we have another one. Oh, we actually have one last copy in our hand. No more Rescue Carrier, but we have one more Indeedee. So doing the Mustard means we actually need to kill another VMAX though. Do we have a boss in our hand? If we have a boss, we don't need to kill the VMAX. But I think it's possible. I'm pretty sure it's possible. We're doing so much damage right now. Drawing the prize card, drawing from the deck. I think we're doing 360 damage right now. We got the boss. Okay. So we don't need to kill the VMAX even if they did a mustard. 360 with the stone energy and with the boss. So without the boss, if we didn't play that card, we get 370 damage on the one with stone. If they don't have a stone, we did 390 damage. 390 for a 1 price basic. Look at that. Isn't that madness? That's total insanity, yo. 390. No powerful energy, no choice belt, nothing but Blunder Policy to help us. So this list is a bit different. We have a 𝘋𝘦𝘤𝘬 here. 1 copy of 𝘋𝘦𝘤𝘬 to help us hit a few more hits, retrieve the right cards into our hand. So Roseanne is a good fit for your Slurpuff because Slurpuff is playing special energy tool cards and Stadium. So anything that relies on those special, attached cards and Stadium, make sure you fit in Roseanne. But I don't think we have a Roseanne even with this for this list because Slurpuff is already retrieving cards from your discard pile. Roseanne is kind of redundant, and we want to be drawing cards with our supporter. We don't want to be shuffling them back. But it could be helpful though. Roseanne, that 1 copy could be helpful at the late stage in the game. If you draw it too early, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to, it's not going to be a plus for you. Kusana Akira. I think this guy is Japanese. It's in English though. I think PTCG O is English. I don't think there's a Japanese app for PTCG O. I'm not sure. I think there should be though, right? But I don't see any Chinese or I don't see the online platform having any other languages. Russian, what other language are there? German, French, whatever. I think English is the only platform. Okay, let's just focus on this one. They're playing a full-on V deck, not a V battle deck, but a V attacker, a V fighter deck. So Noivern to do 180, single out, 190 for Moltres hitting the weakness. So they're playing Dragon, Darkness, and Psychic type. Darkness, Ghost, and the supporting Zamazenta, which can actually do quite a lot of damage. Zamazenta for the ability Regal Stance. You have to end your turn though, so it's only good for the first turn if you go first. If you go second, if you don't want to attack, you can use Regal Stance. Revenge Blast, 120 damage plus 30 more for each prize card your opponent has taken. So very powerful attack. It's not enough to kill a V-Star though, unless you have a choice belt, so you still need that extra boost. Even with 5 prize cards taken, 270 damage, not enough. Quite sad, isn't it? Revenge Burst, Revenge Blast is not really doing... It's not enough. 3 energies is a lot as well. If you play Double Turbo, Metal Sauce is going to help, but Double Turbo is not because you only get to do 250 max damage. Max damage is very bad for 3 energies, a V card as well. You can do Zacian for 230, with your, what's it called? Rusted Sword or Choice Belt. You can even attach, you have free reign to attach either one for the extra 30 damage. I think Revenge Blast is actually better than Brave Blade though. It actually does more damage than Brave Blade. But you don't get to use your Rusted Sword obviously. And you have to wait until your opponent draw enough prize cards to do enough damage. So I don't quite like the attack. It's just an additional attacker though, right? Because it's probably there for the ability. Like the main selling point for that card is the Regal Stance ability. So we're gonna damage it first because apparently we can't do a one-hit knockout that early. We're, you know, slow. We are very slow for this game because we haven't gotten enough to make a difference. And since they're playing a V card, a full-on V deck, they're attacking very fast, collecting prize cards already, turn after turn. So we have to attack it by now. We have to collect the knockout this turn and then somehow draw everything, draw out enough cards to do a one-hit knockout for our next hit. Prepare the next 𝘍𝘬𝘬𝘐 while killing the 𝘍𝘬𝘬. So it's quite a lot to do, but I don't think it's that difficult. We haven't got, oh, we got Indeedee on the bench already. So can we pull off a double turbo knockout? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 13, 11, that's enough. It's exactly enough. So if we play nothing, if we bench nothing, if we do nothing but a double turbo, we can kill it. We cannot evolve, we cannot bench, but we get to save that twin energy though. We should be just attaching the twin and then benching an Electrike. But I think we should be saving double turbo for Slurpuff. Let's do Slurpuff for the next turn. We have one extra turn because they're playing a V deck. You know, they're collecting only one prize for the next turn. So let's just give them a head start. Let's just give them one extra turn. Just because we have the luxury to. They're ahead by only one prize card on the next turn. If we do Slurpuff, they're ahead by 2 prize cards, which is fine because we can kill a V card quite easily. It's better to kill the Moltres right now though, but I don't think we are able to. Because they're actually damaging themselves, so we just need 190 damage. Can we do it? We have to remove 2 cards from our hand for Indeedee to attack. And that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 from the top deck, 15, 16, 17. Nope. Not enough, we need 2 more cards. So let's just do Follow the Sand and somehow survive. I don't think we can survive that easily though. So giving them 2 prize is actually a bad idea. But they need 3 more strikes though. They need 3 more turns, and we just need 2 turns to collect a double V knockout. So 2 turns is all we need. That means we actually have 1 extra turn. This turn is a bonus turn we get to use for our, you know, for a bigger draw, so that we get to prepare for an 𝘍𝘬𝘬𝘬 on the V card, unless they evolve into something. I don't think they can evolve other than the Gourmet VMAX. There's no Moltres VMAX, there's no 𝘍𝘬𝘬𝘬 V-Star. It'd be pretty cool to have like a 𝘉𝘠𝘠𝘬 V-Star and a Zacian V-Star. I mean, you would expect those cards to have like the first V-Star, right? But I suppose they're already broken as it is. 𝘉𝘠𝘠𝘬 with the ability and Zacian with the broken attack. Okay, we're gonna do Scoop Up Net. Schoolboy, Scoop Up Net. And then bench that one. We're just gonna do Slurpuff. Let's hope we get to retrieve something. We're gonna get Scoop Up Net if we get a heads. Definitely, that's the top priority. Unless we run out of energies. I don't think we are, you know, I don't think we're that desperate for energy cards, so we're just gonna get Scoop Up Net. Oh, we actually got no Indeedee though. We got one last Indeedee, so I think it's smarter to prepare that one. We may have the remaining copy inside the deck. We may have another rescue carrier as well in the deck, but let's not take any chances. Let's just retrieve that additional attacker, because we actually need 2 more strikes to win the game. So strike 1 on the next turn, strike, final strike on the following turn. Okay, they damage themselves, which is even worse. They should be attacking with 𝘍𝘓𝘓 though, because it has more HP, but I don't think they can avoid the knockout. Or at least attack, like energy switch, retreat, and attack with Zamazenta. Zamazenta can actually knock us out, because we are playing so, the HP of our Pokemon are so low. So we're doing Schoolgirl. I don't think they can avoid a knockout though. Any V card is dead with our Indeedee, even with the double turbo, I'm pretty sure. So we're being very conservative here, but we don't need to be honest, because we have 3 Twin Energy, 210 damage. Should have just used up our twins, because they can't do a Marnie, they can't do anything. We have the luxury to waste them. So why not just do it? Choice Belt. It's too late. They need to collect 2 prizes this turn, or it's the end. Or somehow collect a knockout with a Mew. If that was a Psy power, they can actually do it, right? They can Psy power to kill the Feebas. But thank God Mew doesn't have that attack anymore. So Mew from Celebrations has quite a stupid attack. 2 Psychic, 1 Psychic, 1 Colorless for only 20 damage. I think it's Psy Splash or something. Rose Tower. Okay. Aura Burn, that's it. We won the game. Against Moltres, not really that big of a win, because they are playing a V deck with Choice Belt. But, you know, a win nonetheless, and I'm quite happy. Because we actually, were smart enough to delay the game with that 1 Slurpuff, that 1 Follow the Scent attack. We only got 1 hit still, but we at least get to draw 4 cards passing the turn. Retrieve 1, draw 3 with Blunder. We have to waste 2 cards from our hand though, so it's actually essentially drawing 2 extra cards, doing 20 extra damage with Handkinesis. Because you have to use up your resources, your energies and your tool card. You have to attach them, you have to play them. That means you have to remove them from your hand. So we won against Moltres and 𝘍𝘓𝘓. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye for now, lovely people. Enjoy your life.